Welcome to Sounds of the Commons. My name is Victor Frost, and I'll be your humble host through this world of free music. Did I say free music? You better believe it, because all the music you'll be hearing on this show is free and legal to download thanks to a little thing called the Creative Commons license. Now, this being the inaugural episode, I think I should take a minute and explain to you exactly what the Creative Commons license is. See, regular copyright is restrictive by nature. Anytime anyone wants to use a copyrighted work, they need to ask permission, or they could risk being sued. But Creative Commons is different. It gives artists like me, and the ones you'll be hearing on the show, the ability to give people the right to share, use, and even build upon works they've created without having to ask every single time. All the while making sure they get the credit they deserve, and still keeping some control over their works. It's really great and helps starving artists like me make things like this without having to spend lots of time and money. Now, there are lots of websites that offer Creative Commons licensed music. One of those is CC Mixter. See, CC Mixter was born back in 2004 when Wired magazine had its Creative Commons inspired The Wired CD Remix Contest. What they did was convince a bunch of big-named artists to put one or two of their songs under the Creative Commons license. And when I say big artists, I mean big. I'm talking Dan the Automator, David Bryan, Chuck D. So we're gonna start the show with a little bit of star power and kick it off with Now Get Busy by the Beastie Boys.
Whether independent household, A.K.A. dweller, I can tell you about now, I'm not a fortune teller. Grab a treat from Yossi, my muffin seller. Got mad technique like Rudy Van Gelder.
And yes, I got a plan, I'ma carry out it. It's a pro-choice, I'ma scream and shout it. It's a love life and I try not to doubt it. Yes, I'm gonna party cause I'm bout it, bout it. When it rains, I don't use an umbrella. When the vibes, I use Indella. Berlin, that will make you think. Flowing like water that you love to drink.
Now get busy!
Sweet like a butt filled with Nutella. Creamy like buffalo mozzarella. Sneaking around, you know I slay it while I play it like a peanut and salt shell.
Yeah, I can give a fuzz if you think you're a baller. Against a mini hoonie, well, you false caller. Middle school rapper and a proud yes, y'all. Think about your grandma, go ahead, call her. From the East Coast, so I don't say hella. At the mic stand, my performance is stellar. Pop a tape in and I listen to fella. I'll give a little shout to Nelson Mandela.
Now get busy!
No further ways I make you scream and holler. I'm counting cool to your queen Amidala. Give a shout to Spiros, but y'all walla. I'm a student of the game and a bona fide scholar.
So, we jump on the born to ease that coffin. Butters on the table, now watch it soften. Bringing those beats in, I'ma bring them often. I'ma keep rapping when I'm in my cup. Like a mind going mad that is unwinding. In a padded room, the walls you're climbing. Don't sign on the line if it look binding. Got to get loose and find the line in.
Now get busy!
This next song is one of the most downloaded songs on CC Mixter. It was put out in 2008 and features one of the best artists in the CC Mixter community, Loveshadow. Featuring Trifonic and Amelia June, this next song is called The Sweetest Sin.
When you walked away, it was the saddest day.
One of the hallmarks of a good song, I think, is how easy it is to just listen to. The Ease Down is one of those bands that you can put on and just let the music wash over you, and kind of pull you in. As far as I can tell, they've only ever put out one album back in 2007, which is a shame because I think this band from Montreal really could have made it big. So this next song by The Ease Down is called Face the Day.
No sunshine to let me know that everything's fine. Oh, remember this life you lead and look at yourself behind the steam. The sun is slipping through out of my eyes. Surely this is no big surprise. Oh, now every day comes so quickly. And how do I take my coffee? I forget these self-defining things. They fade away when I close my eyes and lose everything. When I come back and try to recognize this place, I try to get a grip as it all comes creeping in. I need a rhythm and these flashing lights don't count me in. What's my prescription for seeing how these days go round anyway? I had a solution, but it expired, and now again choking down. Yesterday's reference seems so distant to me now. Ding dong, the morning bell rings me back to life. The toast is done and waits for my knife. Peanut butter wins every time. There's something inside that picks me up and lets me know that some good things will never change. And it takes some time for me to work this all out every day. Questions of what will change and what will stay the same. I need a rhythm and these flashing lights don't count me in. What's my prescription for seeing how these days go round anyway? I had a solution, but it expired, and now I can't choke it down. Yesterday's reference seems so distant to me now. And then I'll slip into some routine again. I'll admit the world's gotta spin. Oh, the daily is right on time. Pick it up, take it as a sign. What I need won't count me in. What I need goes round and round. I need a rhythm, and these flashing lights don't count me in. What's my prescription for seeing how these days go round anyway? I had a solution.
So if you are a fan of Creative Commons licensed music already, you may be wondering, well, gee, how can I get the songs I like to be played on this show? After all, Creative Commons is all about sharing, and I want to share my favorite Creative Commons music with anyone else who's listening to this show. Well, rest assured, there is a simple way. On the Sounds of the Commons websites, there is a handy-dandy little button that basically beckons you to submit a song to us. We'll be happy to play it. All you need to do is give us the artist name, the song title, and where can we download it. It's really that simple. Speaking of songs that have been submitted, this next song was submitted by one of my absolute favorite webcomic artists, Angela Malik. Her comic, Wasted Talent, is by far one of the funniest slice-of-life comics out there. I highly recommend it, particularly if you are of the geeky persuasion, because a lot of what the comic is about is her life as an engineer and some of the weird and funny things that happens at her job. It's no surprise then, being as talented as she is, that when I turned to her for name ideas for the show, she delivered epically. But I digress. So what I'm going to do is play for you right now a solid example of the chiptune genre. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of chiptune music, but this track is actually one that I like. It's called We Are the Resistors by Eric Skiff. So for this next track, we have actually the artist on the call with us in the in our little virtual studio. This is actually a pretty good friend of mine. I've known him for some time. Rob Duffy, how you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually so the next track that I'm planning on playing is from an album you worked on recently for the band Don't Poke the Bear.
Yep.
The track is All Night Funk.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you usually play more chiptune type stuff, right?
Yeah, I do. But a couple summers ago, a few friends and I had a very short-lived band. We never really got out of the garage. We had a bunch of practices, but we never really went anywhere with it. But this year, we'd been talking about it for a while. We wanted to do this thing called the Crap Art Album a Day Challenge, where the idea is you're supposed to record an album in 24 hours, and it's supposed to be of a certain length, and we didn't quite achieve that length, but we're still pretty happy with what we came up with in that 24-hour period. So
went too long or went too short?
Too short.
Too short? So this is this is an EP then, not exactly.
This is an EP. Yeah, we're gonna try it again probably during the summer, but yeah. So
this contest is sort of like a NaNoWriMo, but for musicians, huh?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it doesn't take place in a specific month. You can do it whenever, but yeah, it's kind of like that. It's a creative challenge.
Okay, cool. So you have 4 tracks on this album. The Poke, which is sort of like an intro track, and you have All Night Funk and Places and Kids These Days. If you had to pick a favorite one, which one would it be?
I don't know. I like them all a lot. Like we all kind of took the lead. There were 3 of us, so we all kind of took the lead on a separate track, and then kind of added stuff to each other's track. I don't know. They were all a lot of fun, so I'm not sure I could pick one. But,
it's like trying to pick between your kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With no. Do you have a? I'm sure you have a website you'd like to plug for your artist type stuff.
Sure. I mean, if you just Google like Cyclops Rock SoundCloud, you can find my music. If you want to hear music from one of the other members of this project, Alex Madrid, he has a few metal bands. One is called Odyssey Dawn, and the other is At Last. And then Ian Wexler, who is the 3rd member of this project, is a game designer and artist. And I'm trying to remember his Twitter handle. I think it's at Ian Wexlors. But probably if you search Ian Wexler on Twitter, you'll find him. So
I'll be sure to sort it all out and include it in the show notes. But hey, thanks for coming on to the first episode of Sounds of the Commons. It's been great having you on.
Certainly, thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. So with no further ado, this next track is All Night Funk from the band Don't Poke the Bear.
We've been up all night looking for a rhyme. Ideas are cannon fodder. I'm behind the lines. No time to make it perfect. No time to shine.
The last song for this inaugural episode is a sort of a indie pop, rock, alternative kind of number from this band in the Netherlands called the Gasoline Brothers. It's a pretty good track, and I'm going to play it for you in just a second, but before I do, I just want to mention that this show would not have been possible without the Creative Commons license, websites like ccmixter.org and jamendo.com, and all the artists that set their work free for all of us to enjoy. If you like the artists you hear on the show, there are links to their pages where you can download their music and maybe even show them some of your support. Also, one last thing, if you have any comments, suggestions, or even just want to take the time and say, hey, good job, you can find us on the Sounds of the Commons Facebook page. And if you want to see the other stuff I do, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There'll be links to both in the show notes. So, without further ado, this last track is Psychosomatic Heart Failure by the Gasoline Brothers. See you next time on Sounds of the Commons.
Center, go to where it all goes down. 8 is the hour. Wait, I'll try to stay sober. Keep all the cigarettes. I'll mind my own business. So what will happen next? Is that an open question? Let's stay awake this time so we can watch the skies count down. Center, go to where it all goes down. 8 is the hour. I said 8. So what will happen next? Is that an open question? Let's stay awake this time so we can watch the skies count down. And I like to satisfy my mind, but my psychosomatic heart failure will stop me all the time. I try, but this is all I find, that my psychosomatic heart failure will stop me all the time. I'll try to stay sober. Keep off those damn cigarettes. I will mind my own business. 'Cause I'm not like you. 'Cause I love